Hello students, the topic for discussion is 8254 Programmable Timer or Counter. It is an Intel IC 8254 which is used to provide timing and counting functions. It is programmable because it can be programmed according to the microprocessor to which it is connected or with which it is being used. And this counter or timer is used to solve some common timing control problems in microcomputer system design. It is programmable interval timer. So it provides synchronization between two devices. This IC can be used when we want to synchronize two devices according to the time, as it is widely used in clock-driven digital circuits. And it has three independent 16-bit counters, and these counters can count in binary number system or BCD number system. It can handle up to maximum 10 MHz frequency. This IC can work in 6 programmable counter modes. It can be programmed in 6 modes. We will discuss shortly. And all the modes are software programmable. Each timer contains mainly 3 pins: one clock input, gate input, and output pin. We will discuss the function of each. Clock input will provide the timing signals to this timer IC. So basic operating frequency to the timer this clock will provide. A gate pin is used to control the timer or counters in various modes. And output pin will produce the output of the timer. Along with these pins, it has some chip selection pin, read-write pin, data pins, and address A0 and A1. These pins will be used to select the counters among the 3 counters available. And each counter can be programmed according to the control word. The control word which is written by the microprocessor into its control register. So here the control word will tell which type of operation this timer IC will do, or which counter will be selected from 3 counters, or whether it will count in binary number system or BCD count. So we have the architecture of 8254 timer and counter. So it has 3 independent 16-bit counter 0, counter 1, and counter 2. Each counter has 3 pins: clock, gate, and out. Clock, it will provide the basic operating frequency. Gate will control this counter in modes we will discuss next. Output, the output of this timer will be produced over the spin. Okay, and it has some control logic, read-write logic here. Read pin, it has read bar pin, write bar pin, A0, A1, and chip selection pin. Chip selection pin will select this IC or not. Chip selection pin will decide whether this IC will work or not. A1, A0 will select which counter will work. Read will denote the read operation of the processor, and write will denote the write operation of the microprocessor. And data bus buffer will be connected to the system bus D0 to D7, data bus of the system bus. And it has its internal bus, 8-bit internal bus. It has a control word register in which the control word will be written, and according to the control word this IC will work. Next, this is the pin diagram of 8254 timer counter IC. So it has 24 pins. One is the D0 to D7. These are the data pins which will be connected to the data bus. Clock 0, clock out 0, gate 1. These 3 pins of counter 0. Clock 1, gate 1 and out 1. These 3 pins for counter 1. Clock 2, out 2 and gate 2. These 3 pins of counter 2. A0, A1 will select the counter. CS will select the chip, whether the chip 8254 will work or not. Read operation, this pin will be connected to the microprocessor read bar pin, so it will denote the read operation of the microprocessor. Write bar pin, this pin will also be connected to the write bar pin of the microprocessor, which also denotes the write operation of the microprocessor. BCC is the power supply pin and ground is also the power supply pin of the chip. So as we have discussed the brief introduction of all these pins, here we can see that A0 and A1 pin will be connected to the address lines A0, A1 of the microprocessor, which will select the counters and control word register. So A0 and A1, 00 value will select counter 0, 01 value will select the counter 1, 10 value will select the counter 2, and 11 will select the control word register. Now, according to the control word, this IC will work, and control word will specify which operation, which mode, which counter will be selected, and whether it will count in binary or BCD number system. So when control word will be written into control register, A0, A1 will be 11. Chip selection will 0 as chips will be work. And so control word is 8-bit long. Here D0 pin will select whether it is BCD count or binary count. So if it is 0, then it will denote the binary counter, yani binary count, 16-bit binary counting. If it is 1, then it will denote binary coded decimal counter. So D1, D2 and D3. These pin M0, M1, M2 will select the modes. Which mode of in which mode this IC will work? It has 6 modes, mode 0 to mode 5. So one of the mode will be selected by these 3 pins. Here next RW and RW0 and RW1, D4 and D5. These pins will select read-write operation, which has some special read-write operation, and according to the pin D4 and D5, the read and write operation will be selected as D00 counter latch command, 01 read write at least significant byte only, 10 read write most significant byte only, and 11 read write least significant byte first and then most significant byte will be read or written. Next, D6 and D7 pin select the counter. Which counter will be selected? So 00 counter 0 will be selected, 0 1 counter 1 will be selected, 1 0 counter 2 will be selected, and 1 1 read back command. This will denote the read back command. So this is the control word which will decide which mode, which counter and which operation will be selected for the IC 8254. So this is all about 8254 architecture and function. Thank you.